and serving.
Thank you.
I like your shirt.
Thank you.
Oh. So you get to write the last one.
Yes.
And how much time have you spent thinking?
None. I'm just gonna wing it. you just sit down a couple days before filming starts. Just whatever happens, happens. You know, yeah. No, I think since we knew this was the last season, we've known what the last moment will be, and the path to getting there has changed, and I'm sure will continue to change as we go through it. But that last moment, I think, is what we want to work toward. Yeah.
In terms of
Excuse me.
expectations, are you trying to craft something that you think the fans are going to anticipate or look for, or are you trying to surprise?
Well, we're certainly not trying to craft something we think the fans will hate. I think that's probably a bad idea. Some people will do it that way. We didn't want to do that. No, I think what we're crafting is something that I hope will make sense as an emotional ending to these characters' journey. And I don't think it's going to be something that's going to make everybody happy, because that's impossible. But I certainly hope that even the people who are like, oh, I wish it ended a little bit differently, will understand why it ended that way.
You joked that 30% of people were going to be, but for you, I mean, this is a lot on your shoulders. How are you, this is my psychologist question, like, how are you dealing with that feeling of pressure after all this time?
I think you just have to realize you're not going to make everybody happy, and you have to do what makes the most sense to not just myself, but the other people like Bob Singer, or everybody that's worked on the show for so many years, the actors, everything like that. We all have very strong opinions about the way it's going to go, and I think the ending point we've kind of decided on ticks those boxes for those people. You know what I mean? So at some point you trust in those people, and I think, again, at the end of the day, this show is to different people, different things in some ways, and I think the ending will probably function in that way as well.
That makes sense. That's a good way to cope too. Yeah. It's pretty healthy.
We had a great big movie this year that really gave a lot of fan service in a final farewell. Will we touch on many of the topics that we've seen over the years for Supernatural?
I hope so. I hope we'll touch on a lot of it. I think, again, in a show that's been going on for 15 years, I can't claim we're going to tie up every loose thread. I think that would be hard to do. But certainly, we're not going to be afraid to kind of go back and talk about some of our nostalgia and explain some things, or find ways to explain some things that maybe in the moment seemed a little odd, that'll end up making a little bit more sense.
How are you feeling about it being the last season?
You know, it's interesting for us because we're so early in the process. We just barely started filming the first episode 2 days ago. So for us, we're so much work to do, everything's. But then you'll come to things like this. So we had somebody come to our office early today, last week, and they're like, so the wrap party, we're going to do this and this. And, you know, when you guys are ready to clear out your offices, you just let us know.
Oh, my God.
I've been in these offices for, 12 years. Like, I'm not leaving. Like, I don't think they understand that. Like, I live there now. Like, I'm the Phantom of the Opera. I don't know, when Riverdale's there next year, like, I'll just be in an office. You guys need anything? You guys killing vampires? No, I can help. I'm here.
They'll call up Jared and Jensen and be like, you need to come and oust this ghost of a writer.
And they'll just be like, who? I don't know. No, we don't know him. We don't know him. Yeah.
One last question, guys.
Okay.
So can you talk about, this is a writer question, can you talk about using the genre to speak to things and issues that people might not realize you're talking about until later, and then they kind of get it?
Yeah, I mean, I think, look, the nice thing about genre is that you can present a lot of different things in a way that hopefully doesn't feel too preachy, but can address certain social issues. And I think Supernatural has done that on occasion, and I think just the idea of the journey these guys have been on, and Sam and Dean, for as tough as they are, and they drive in a cool car and they shoot cool guns and everything else, they're probably some of the most emotionally alive, certainly male characters on TV, and that to me is in some ways one of the most subversive things about this show. Even though we're not going out of our way to talk about prominent social issues a lot of the time, just those characters existing in the way they exist, I think, shines a light on masculinity in a way that it doesn't often get done. Certainly not in genre television, and certainly not in primetime genre television.
Awesome. And all I can think now is Single Man Tears.
Single Man Tears.
And thank you for that.
Thank you.